You are watching Liberty Online TV. You are watching Liberty Online TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online Television. We'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website. We will bring the program come to you this morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mebel Kaba. Good morning. Inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, today, as you all know, Parliament last week been done elect then Speaker and Deputy Speaker. We make inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, Liberty Online TV, go can talk about waiting people for expect under the leadership of the new Speaker and in Deputy.
Well, this and other story then are the program for you this morning, and for can help we talk about the experience na Parliament and waiting people for expect from this new set of leadership, especially the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. We get Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai with we in the studio. Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai, like una all know, now one pan the longest serving member of Parliament na Salon, and it don't be member of Parliament for 4 terms. Women's 3 terms, women say it in a Parliament for 15 years. Well, what in this mean for them? Waiting have been experienced, the 10 way then in a Parliament, waiting have been the procedure them for let you be Speaker of Parliament. All of that you can share with me at the program this morning. You say for the watch, if you get question, you get comments for Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai, send them through the number 075 200 545, or you can as well send your message through the comment section. We'll read them later on inside the program. Good morning, Dr. Bernadette Lahai, and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Mabel, and good morning to viewers and listeners.
All right. Back shortly.
We will continue with the Breakfast Show, and the first issue we will look at the show this morning now also the new honorary consul for Sweden na Salon, when Harish Agnani don't say under a leadership he go ensure say the party business between Sweden and Salon work stronger one for let the country go better from the agreements where they between the two countries and for promote development. Well, he talk this way then be they pull the Swedish consulate na Salon. Also we reporter David Yankes is and you're gonna report.
Sweden and Salon be they enjoy multilateral cooperation through the United Nations and European Union platform as a way for unite the two countries them. Now for sake of this, make the Sweden ambassador na Monrovia, Liberia, do open the Swedish honorary consulate na Freetown and self-appoint Harish Agnani, the honorary consul for Norway and Sweden. Where Emily talk, the newly appointed honorary consul for Sweden, Harish Agnani, talk about the relationship between Salon and Sweden.
As I step into this role, I am fully committed to upholding and promising the values and interests that define the relationship between Sweden and Sierra Leone. I am dedicated to fostering our mutual objectives and ensuring that our collaborations are marked by success and lasting friendship. Together, let's embrace this opportunity to make a significant impact to think ahead and build a future. A very warm welcome again to all, and I thank you for being here and being a part of this momentous occasion.
Inside Iun talk, Oban Justros, na the ambassador of Sweden na Monrovia, Liberia, say a glady because Sweden don't open the Swedish honorary consulate na Freetown.
I'm very happy that we are now able to open the Swedish honorary consulate in Freetown. This constitutes indeed an evidence of the long-standing relations between Sierra Leone and Sweden. I'm also happy that we found a model where we as Nordic countries can come together as the Kingdom of Norway and the Kingdom of Sweden. It's evidence of Nordic cooperation. We also feel privileged that it is Harry Shagdani who will represent us. We are very grateful of your commitment, professionality and service, and we look forward to our collaboration. For me, as the Swedish ambassador based in Liberia and signed a credit to Sierra Leone, it's always rewarding to come to Freetown. The travel is smooth by car and it takes not more than 8 hours on good roads, especially on this side of the border. It's indeed rewarding to enjoy the concrete results of the EU-Sierra Leone partnership in infrastructure development. It's also rewarding to follow the development in the country, and I'm happy to learn about the implementation of the Agreement of National Unity, aiming at a future-oriented, inclusive and pluralistic democracy based on national unity. It is also useful to see investments for sustainable development and prosperity, and in this process the whole spectrum of the nation needs to contribute.
Dr. Victoria M. Suleimani, na the Director General na the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, talk about what this mean for the country.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today on this auspicious occasion of the formal opening of the Swedish consulate in our great nation, Sierra Leone. Thank you all for being here. May I at the outset convey the best wishes of His Excellency, President Dr. Julius Maada Bio, for Sweden's endeavor to further deepen this friendly and mutually beneficial relationship between the governments of the people of Sweden and Sierra Leone. Your Excellency, may I underscore that the opening of your consulate here today is a direct testament to the excellent bilateral relations that have evolved over the past years and which gained considerable impetus in the 1980s when Sweden commenced its in-country cooperation program in Sierra Leone, focusing on supporting our country's social protection policies and programs, including the empowerment of women and girls and human capital development. I am pleased to note here that the generosity of the Swedish government has been quite impactful in the education and health sectors. Swedish support of the free quality education, which facilitated the return of half a million children back to school in 2002 and 2005, has been most beneficial to the people of Sierra Leone. Today, some of our communities have become the direct beneficiaries of your cooperation of basic infrastructure such as health clinics and schools. It is on this note of optimism that I say that the establishment of your consulate here in Freetown is indeed the high point of our excellent bilateral diplomatic relations, and will certainly serve as a major catalyst for a further strengthening and deepening of our bilateral relations to the mutual benefit of our peoples.
Plenty people will be the part of this opening ceremony, been pledged for giving support to the consulate of Sweden for help develop Salone for Liberty Online.
All right, we continue with the Liberty Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, within our Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Earlier on, tell us today, we can look back as the Sierra Leone Parliament just get Speaker and Deputy Speaker, waiting the people for expect from them two people they also whether emerge as Speaker and Deputy Speaker, and they also they represent the Salone People's Party na Parliament. Now the studio this morning we get a member of Parliament. We don't serve for 3 consecutive terms. Women say it in a Parliament for 15 years. We're not a well-experienced person in no waiting don't they happen at Parliament during their own term. Ego can explain you how we been talek for elect or select or pick person we for be a Speaker and Deputy Speaker in a Parliament. Good morning one more time, Honorable Dr. Bernard Lahai, and welcome to the breakfast show again.
Thank you very much, Khadija.
All right, let me go back to Unayon term them during then days then they we then see the Speaker of Parliament. Most people be they say like say na a big position or a sacred position when somebody who for be elder person or somebody who for get much more experience na Parliament, especially we come on standing order and other procedure they how na for conduct on ourselves na the well and within the Parliament. During Unayon term, how we been talek for let una as member of Parliament choose somebody for say this for be the Speaker?
Thank you very much. When I go Parliament in 2002, we the members of Parliament, because in 2002 na SAPP been in a governance. So we not been really get hands in the selection of the Speaker then. Because by the time we go na Parliament, na been the late Justice Kawan, na been with Speaker. It may have been that the President and maybe the party structures go down engage and decide who that will be the Speaker. Because I know the member, I was consulted, or we are consulted, to the best of my knowledge, maybe the leadership of the Parliament from the SAPP side. We go, we meet the Speaker there. So now that situation been there. But of course, you just get to go through the process that he's nominated, he's seconded, and then following the constitutional provision, if he not get any opposition or any other candidates, and then because when we went to Parliament in 2002, SAPP been get the overwhelming majority of 83 members of Parliament, and then we been get paramount chiefs then from the 12 districts. We, as sure say, the President go down, consult. We not been really get for go through that first stage, second stage, or third stage of electing because the nominee failed for get the 2/3 majority. So, and equally so, when we been there, the late Honorable Elizabeth Lavalley was the Deputy Speaker. And himself, you know, much problem not been there because I saw say also her nomination came from the head of state and also the party functionaries at the top. So now that's been happen. In 2007, when we lost the election and APC took over, I think so also the same procedure being unfold. I shall say the president, the former president then, go down and engage with in party officials at that national level or the party structure level, and then agree say Justice Ebe Strong go be a suitable candidate from for be the Speaker. So again, the same process unfolded. We will not be need for go through all those processes that this recent election of the Speaker go through. and then the late Chukwuma Johnson, Naina being the deputy speaker, Joanna being the deputy speaker, and of course for him, again, even if we've been voted, but it was just like a formality, because Dembe get 70, I think, at that time, and we get 42, and with the paramount chiefs and everything, they're not been getting the overwhelming majority, but I sure say whose idea was consensus and consultation, and whether we went through the process as then go through with the SLPP in the opposition, at the end of the day, he would have been elected from simple majority. So I feel say, the process being just let go, because sometimes again, that was a new parliament. You wanted to start on a very good note of comradeship and also goodwill and all those things. So the same process would have occurred, and I sure say the president go down consulting party, but the voting was just a formality in the parliament. So, but midway in 2012, where again APC won the election, when I was now the minority leader, and then the same speaker, Justice Abel Strong, was also to ask for let it continue. Midway through his appointment, there was a new thinking, because remember that all the speakers, the former speakers, were former justices, where they don't almost retire from the judiciary. They were on pension and all those things. They've had all the good things in life, and then because they were lawyers, the expectations were that they were very much versed in the constitution and everything, and they expect that they will also be a little bit non-partisan in their operations, and the age expected will also come with experience and the background from the legal background. So this may have informed all this while, but it also did in the constitution at that time that it can forbid either a member of parliament or somebody with a legal background, a retired, somebody from the judiciary. But we found out, say, when we look in Africa, Sierra Leone was maybe the only country where the speaker was not a member of parliament. And that's being also get in your own shortcomings. You go to Ghana, you go to Nigeria, you go to Uganda, you go to South Africa, you name it. Even in the developed countries, you go to US, you go to UK, the speakers, they are all members of parliament. They go through the elections and then they are elected. But ours was different. Our speakers came from outside of parliament, retired and everything. And we've been say, that we were really, it was odd. It was odd. Of course, there were a lot of arguments for and against, why the speaker for come from outside the parliament and maybe a retired judge and all those things, But also, parliament is a different institution. It's made up of elected members. We go through a lot of problems getting elected. We are partisan and all of those things. And then for a speaker of parliament, of course, again, people differ because we can compare Justice Cowan in tenure and also Justice Abel Strong in tenure, in terms of a lot of things, because so people we just feel say, it's high time we change, because we are part of the global world now, and we cannot say, because we are also benchmarking. We benchmark from what happens outside of our own jurisdiction. Yeah? We cannot say we are a member of ECOWAS, we are a member of the African Union, we are a member of the United Nations and other regional and international continental bodies, but then our own operations were different. So, and there were a few things here and there where maybe the people we didn't like in Parliament under that jurisdiction, yeah? So we decided that it's high time a member of Parliament, we don't serve more than 2 terms for becoming a speaker. That is if you are a current sitting member. But that if you are a retired, if you don't left Parliament, then you must have served Parliament for 2 terms for let you be eligible for contest for the position of speaker. So in fact, maybe that was why in this Parliament under SAPP in 2018, we see the just retired speaker, Bundu, came in because he had been a member of Parliament, whether he had completed the 2 terms, because again there were some controversies a little bit here and there, whether he really completed his 2 terms before he was elected, because he was in Parliament later on. He was asked to be, was it the executive secretary for the ECOWAS commission and all those things. So those arguments, anyway, at the end of the day, he was a former parliamentarian. He came in, as an outsider. And then always the speaker, the deputy speaker is always from within the Parliament. You must be a sitting member of Parliament. So that is that is my experience over the years as to how we have elected our speakers and our deputy speakers. So we had to make that constitution amendment because it was not an entrenched clause that now, we're not going to allow a former retired justice, for can be a member of a speaker in a parliament, that he's not a member. He has not gone through the rigors of being elected, and he's not a member of parliament, so he's not even experiencing. He cannot put himself, in the shoes of the members of parliament, in terms of the rigors of constitutional constituency representation, the overwhelming burden of work and all those things. But there are other things that people are not really happy about, not to now they can't discuss all at the party level, at the party level out there, and even in the administration of parliament. We've been just feel say if we elect we young kind as a speaker, whether you have been in parliament or not, sometimes you can identify with what the parliamentarians are going through, because you yourself, you are once a member of parliament and those things, so maybe you are able to empathize. The people will talk about the issue of the legal background. We have our clerk of parliament who is the chief advisor to the clerk, to the speaker, yeah? And nothing stops also the speaker from bringing in consultants, consultant, whether within the country or outside the country, that are vast, in the legal profession, that can also give advice and professional backstopping, to the speaker and the deputy speaker as and when they need. Well, because we did it again. The late Mr. Carpenter, he was a civil service servant for long, and he came to parliament and he served parliament for long, and he was like the encyclopedia of parliament in terms of parliamentary practice. At some point in time, Speaker SBB Dumbuya, being careful bring him back. Because he has worked, Mr. Carpenter has worked there, and, he knew there, even to help in the revision of the standing orders and all of those things. So he been get for a contractor, for come back as a consultant for help with the speakership office and all of those things. So all those provisions are there. So it doesn't really mean that you have to be a lawyer, or legal background for being a speaker. You know, it's, a speaker's work is really more of facilitating the what, although, because what with time you also get grounded in the constitution and in the standing orders, but you also can bring in outside expertise, you know, to help you. And then besides, the clerk is also there, who is the principal advisor to the speaker.
So back to also you start, this particular election which just happened for speaker and deputy speaker and parliament exposed a lot of things to make even the public became interested in waiting to happen at parliament, especially to the leadership. The issue of internal party arrangements for agree on who that for will contest the position of speaker and speakership. Is it just a practice over the years on a laid down procedures the party can go by for pick person where can go contest?
Well, as I said, from our experience, you know, when we came to parliament, we the new MPs, we are really not involved. So, and besides, as a head of state, you also want to have a speaker that you have worked with, that you know, and that can listen to you. Again, maybe it can listen to you, it may have its own pros and cons, you know, but you also need to work with people you know. So that is why I feel say every head of state not go just left the speakership election to the whims and caprices of the members. For example, sometimes you may not even know the person in terms of, you know, interact with her and all them things. So then get a hand for play. Even when we came, we not be even get a hand in who was going to be the majority leader then, or the deputy majority leader, the whip, or the deputy whip. When we come in 2002, the day the parliament opened, these names were just announced. And I'm sure, again, the president, we nine are the leader, you know, and the executive for go now then go down come engage and say, okay, with a lot of maybe negotiation here and there, let this person be the leader of the government and the leader of the deputy and all those things. The only difference I saw in terms of the leadership selection in the SLPP was in 2007. In 2007, we voted, you know, after Solomon Berera lost, after we lost the election, Solomon Berera lost the presidency. That parliament, it was us, the members of parliament, and the executive, the national executive that organized the election. We went to the late Solomon Berera in office, in house, where even this Spur Road. Now they go address we. Then in the late UNS Jar, who was the chairman of the party then left we, then go upstairs. Because they said they not really want for interfere. That is the first time, my own experience. So they left we for vote. The four positions then. That we are in opposition. The minority leader, the deputy minority leader, the minority whip, and the deputy. So Momo Puje, the late Momo Puje, we contested with him, me, Elizabeth Lavalley, and Momo Puje. So he won. And then the other positions, we really not been vote for the deputy because we thought that the second person for don't just emerge as the deputy. When Namin been the second, came second. So we not vote. He had to select his own deputy. Then the late Emmanuel Tommy, which did not go well with us, with the majority, because we should have also voted. If he didn't want the second person, we should have voted there and then. Then we had the chief whip, the chief minority whip, Honorable Kwedo Yoma was the minority whip, and then we had the deputy. We didn't vote for all those persons, where we are not happy about, because we have voted for all those positions. But again, you know, there were this party arrangement, district, inter-district arrangement. You vote for we this, we go give you this position and all those. But at least there was some voting. In 2012, when again we were in the opposition, we came. We almost adopted the same voting. But a few minutes before we started the voting in Parliament, this one, we set to organize in Parliament, we were called by the party executive that election, if we do it, they will not reckon the result. So they tell us, we stop that voting day, we go down to the party office. At the end of the day, there was negotiation between and among the party executives, because there was going to be a give and take. Because of maybe some back behind the scene discussions where the party executive don't hold with some of the people that way they are in the contest. Yeah. So anyway, at the end of the day, the caucus leaders were consulted, and then the leadership were also consulted. The party leadership, they were also consulted. That was how, at the end of the day, they came with the list. I emerged as the minority leader. The late Honorable Ansu Kaikai from Pujang was my deputy. And then Honorable CD Tunis was the whip. And then Honorable JB Mansare was the deputy. I'm sure you know there were reasons why, because we all contested except JB. And maybe they wanted to appease everybody, so they had to do that. So at least that was the one. But I shall say this one here, the 2018 elections, there was no election for the leadership, because we didn't see it. So that means the party hanged with the leader, the president, for come up with this executive meeting.
Honorable Dr. Bernard Lahai, we now we want for can look at with all of your experience from the speaker in resignation. We make a lot of news say to how they can make election and get a new speaker. Firstly, for a sitting speaker for resign with your experience in Parliament, what does that mean to the entire parliamentary structure?
Well, you see, resignation is part of the human rights and prerogative for anybody. Khadija, even you where you sit down here, if today you feel say you can no longer serve liberty, for whatever reason, personal reason, emotional reason, health reason, political reason, bureaucratic reason, you don't need to give any reason, you can resign. Of course, this is novel. This is a novelty, because why it became topical, because this is the first time. A speakership position, the privileges will go with the speakership position. You have to be a fool, really, for just sit there and say, I they resign. But again, maybe his age, maybe his health. There are a lot of reasons people are coming, where people are insinuating. Maybe he smelled the rat, yes, that maybe he was going to be removed, and he was preemptive. So he decides, say, before they can sack me, let me go serve for. Or maybe they called him, I don't know, and say, you know what, just tender in your resignation. Of course, they be done. Come up with new condition of service for speaker. You will go with a certain number of privileges and what. So, and now somebody been put on there. If maybe, I don't know. We are just speculating all those things. Whether it was voluntary, whether somebody whispered to us, say, hey, try pack your bag and just resign, serve food so that you maintain your respectability and all of those things. I don't know. But it is his right to resign.
But from your experience from outside, because I guess you don't follow, even though you're not there anymore, you spent 15 years there, you know the in and out of the parliament. Was he having the support we need the same way Honorable Habas Bundu Dena Parliament as Speaker? Maybe they get that support we need.
Well, you see, from afar, his tenure really started on a turbulent footing, APC walked out, I think 10 of the APC members, injunction them, he put on a APC walkout, and then he was elected, you know, with no other candidates. He came in there, and during his tenure, there were a lot of issues. Issues that the first time, me don't know for the other parliament, where, you know, there was fighting, police come inside and remove people. People were throwing out there were always boycotts and all those things. So it was not easy for him. So he had to delicately, you know, manage some of those issues. And maybe, and sometimes he had to give, because he has the final say, the eyes, the nays, and he will decide whether it's going to be voices or it's going to be head count and all of those things, and whether his ears, you know, were keen enough to hear the eyes louder or the nays louder. And sometimes, you know, he had to say, well, that was what, anyway. So his tenure has not been an easy one for a speaker. You know, and the limelight was on him. This was a hung parliament, and you know the government party didn't have the overwhelming majority, and there were other two parties in parliament. We had independents, and you had to delicately manage all those things, you know. And again, let's not forget that he was elected, and he was appointed, and maybe, you know, by the government, you know, and also that sometimes put him in a dilemma, you know, as to what to happen. And then sometimes, again, whether it's true or not, people will say sometimes he can be lenient. He was in some cases lenient with the opposition. He will give them. You see, under Justice Kawan, when we only had 27 APC and 83 members, 83 SLPP, Justice Kawan will give the APC more time to talk. He said talk. Because at the end of the day, it's voting. It's voting. So, but because they were small and we were many, 3 times the population of the membership, he would, in terms of speaking time, you know, he will give them also that they can also level up to us. But at the end of the day, we voted, and majority carried the vote. So this was not the situation in the 2 parliaments that he has superintended over. It was a hung parliament, and this time, you know, there were only two parties in parliament, but the parliament started with 1 party, except with Mohamed Bangura, who came in later, and then the other MP that came in later. Otherwise, you know, it was going to be an SLPP parliament, you know. So, and you had also the implications, the international community, their thinking about the results and all of those things. So even the second inning, again, you know, was not the rosy one. Because how can you superintend over a single party parliament, except if Mohamed Bangura and the other had not come? So all of these things. So I'm sure it was not a rosy journey for him.
5th and 6th parliaments. Now, one way been get a lot of problems in terms of procedure from the election of the speaker, just like I don't explain, onto this 6th parliament, allegation of corruption hanging over the head, the clerk, they under investigation in WEF, then go ACC, pay some money. All of this make people don't they lost respect for parliament. During own tenure them, when they say parliament, when they say speaker, when they say a clerk, now somebody will command lots of respect. And now we don't suicide and elect 2 young people again, we make plenty people they question how this parliament get for run. For Musa, you sit down now as experienced somebody, politician, we don't serve na parliament, you hold a leadership position. What do you foresee for this 6th parliament with all waiting hang on top the head from allegation of corruption, leadership and everything?
I can always say no 2 parliaments are the same. Parliament, though they operate in a vacuum. Parliament, they operate within the given socio-economic, technological, and political milieu of the country. The parliament is just a small subset of the generality of the country, and the country is bound, the activities where they happen in the country is bound to impact either positively or negatively on the parliament. So this parliament, as we say, is different. This 2018 parliament and the 2023 parliament is different from all other parliaments. Different in terms of the electoral processes that brought the parliaments together. The composition of the parliament is different. The composition in terms of the political parties, in terms of the districts that the main parties, in terms of the age, in terms of the experience of the parliament, in terms of who is the speaker, who is the clerk, all of those things, you know, are bound to affect the parliament running. And also, let's not divulge also the country. The political parties, you know, they also have a lot of influence on their members in the parliament. And sometimes directly there is a dictate from the political parties to what parliament do or what parliament should not do. So all of these things are different. Let me start. Okay, let me congratulate the parliament. For me, they really this time follow the procedure, because this is the first time we have had a parliament where the speaker, they went through. Of course, you know, we were expecting that, except if APC didn't put a candidate. But even if they didn't put a candidate for the speakership and the deputy speakership, if they wanted to prolong the process, they could have done it, and exactly that is what they did. They put a candidate, and then they followed the procedure. You have to consecutively elect the speaker 3 times if you don't have the 2/3 majority, and then the last time you now will go through the majority, winning by simple majority, and that is exactly what happened, you know. So this time the processes in the constitution, the prescriptions were followed. Honorable Senge Paul came to parliament in 2012. So he contested, he was in 2012 parliament, he's in the 2018 parliament, and now he's in the 2023 parliament. So he has spent 10 years. This is the beginning of his 3rd term in parliament. So we cannot say he's new to parliament. Honorable Tawa came in 2018. He has spent 5 years, and he's beginning his 2nd term, and he meets the prescription of the qualification for a deputy speaker. He has been there for 5 years, you know. He was, I think, one time the chairman for transparency and then there was all this problem. He was removed, and then later on and all those things. But he has been part and parcel of this parliament. For 5 years, it may not be enough for you to have garnered all the processes, but if you are educated and if you are learnable and if you are willing and motivated, you could have mastered some of the processes. Honorable Senge, by background, has a legal background. He's a practicing lawyer, and being the deputy speaker for 2018, and then part of 2023. And being presiding over most, when the speaker is not there, he's the one that is presiding over the proceedings of parliament. So
the way how it don't preside over parliament, the tending way the outgoing speaker knocking day. You think, say, with the kind of drama within at this 6th parliament, Honorable Sengepo, na be the right person for be speaker, looking at the things that were on the way. You talk about the constitutional review process, the tripartite committee, a lot they over Sierra Leone democracy. With Honorable Sengepo being the speaker at this crucial moment and Honorable Tawa, you think say na be the right people at this crossover stage for restore Salone democracy for Sidona Parliament?
Well, when you say right, I'm not feel say I get the local standard. For begin, they say whether it was right. I not get no authority for judge, the decisions of the party. And I'm sure the blessing of His Excellency, but definitely if the Excellency not agree, this is not going to, it not go right. So me, no one for judge where they came from, whether their choice was right or not. They are there now. And they have been there before, at least he has been there for several of those things. But what I will say is that the two therefore know that the last parliament, the environment, the political environment is slightly different from this parliament. And in terms of national exercises, important national exercises that are about to unfold, needs very, very, very seasoned, introspective, patient administrators of parliament. It's very important because the constitutional review is going to be very taxing. We are going to have a referendum. We need to go through that constitution and all of those things. So they should be mindful of the tremendous tax and pressure they are going to be under. Because the configuration of the parliament is, remember that the constitutional review of the Justice Kawan, the report was presented to the then government, and they removed and then they pulled the white paper. A lot of Sierra Leoneans may not have been happy about the selectivity of some of the issues in the report, which got into the white paper, which were accepted and those that were not accepted. So now we don't go through, especially now, there are tons of issues, because then the day before yesterday, I think we were talking about, under CGG, we were talking about the PR system, the alternate, was it an alternate, was it the default, and all those things. And in fact, we were talking that now that we are having the constitutional review, there must be definitive. There are a lot of things in that constitution that needs to now we need to take a bold step as to how we resolve it so that we don't find ourselves in this quagmire. Then, so all of these things. So this parliament has big national projects ahead of them that will require all the sensitivity, all the maturity, all the foresight to ensure that under their leadership, all of these things happen with less acrimony, because I'm sure there are certain things in that constitutional review, if it comes, the APC may not be in favor, and there will be pressure on their people in the parliament to either oppose it and all of those things. So how do you manage? How are you going to manage? Because I can always say the ruling government has to be magnanimous and also sensitive. The opposition also has to be patriotic. It's not everything they oppose with the aim of kicking the government out. Neither you, the ruling government, use your power, and maybe either your numerical power or your executive power and all those things to bulldoze your way. So the two have to be patriotic, nationalistic.
You don't see so far based on what you don't explain, because the parliaments on one side way, plenty people get the view say if Salone people able for fixed parliaments, it will be a solution to one of the problems as a nation. From what you don't foresee, under the leadership of Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas and that of in deputy, then go able to steer the ship safely without thinking of party interest, but putting the interest of the people before all of this?
We expect that the interest of the country will come first and foremost. Because first of all, you are a Sierra Leonean before you become SLPP APC. The problem has been with us is that we really don't draw a line between what is national and what is political. So that has been the problem. And we have seen it in Parliament on several issues. The party says this, and that is what we should follow, whether it is in the interest of the generality of the people, whether it is not, again, because of party discipline, because you want to maintain your symbol in the next election, because you want to ensure that you enjoy some of the international travels, you enjoy the chairmanship and all of those things. Sometimes you follow the dictates of the party. Whether or not, you think in your own heart, between your conscience and your God, it is not in the best interest of the country.
This way they explain so that's way practical, because you don't be in a crucial leadership position at Parliament for letting tending that you be minority leader. That be very tough period. And you now one of the people who then be done they accuse, say you pitch tent with the ruling government and tending day. That's way practical. You be at any point then at the position for choose between country first and that of your party.
Yes, yes. You see, one thing we will not be in like, we have been doing a Parliament, when there are national issues, before we the members, the party don't take a position. They don't pull press release. Before then they call we now for whip we for say this is the line you follow. You understand? Some of us didn't like that. If things happen nationally, don't rush to take a position, not pull press release, don't even go to radio, because you don't sit in Parliament. Call us. Call us to say this is the situation. Let us discuss it and we come to the same level of understanding, and then there will be agreement.
This
so that
same scenario we explain, so we go under your leadership, and then there be very critical situation between the SLPP be in opposition and the APC be in the ruling. You know, things say the same thing. Honorable Singapore and Honorable Tawa, where they go through the same thing again, taking directives from them party, especially when it comes on critical period. I just make mention of the constitutional review period, the tripartite process they gone, the tender way it go reach na Parliament. Then two people there, Honorable Singapore and Honorable Tawa. You think they will really put country first and ignore them party?
Well, we hope they would. And that is what the country is expecting. Because the issues then we they look ahead for. If we not take time, if Parliament not take time, at the end of the day, we could have a constitution, but we don't have a united country. Because if everything in the constitution is going to be what the party wants, even if it is not going to be in the interest of the country, but because maybe of numerical strength, and don't forget again that you need two thoughts. When it comes to that constitutional review and the new constitution, you need two thoughts. And already, no two party has two thoughts. Even if you add the 14 paramount chiefs, you will not be, since it's a secret ballot, you will not guarantee that all 14 paramount chiefs will vote the way of the government. Yeah? And we saw it. So this is where the understanding, the skills of the two leaders in Parliament is going to be very, very critical. I have seen Honorable Tawa sometimes standing his ground. You see, I respected him on the issue of the 98.1 affirmation that Parliament was corrupt. Of course, there was a lot of pressure on them too. Ian gave up. At the end of the day, they set the ethics committee. He was to apologize. He said he will not apologize. He stand by his words and all of those things, yeah? In life, sometimes, you have to stand alone, even if it means, knowing the consequences.
But it's possible now, based
so now here they say.
So,
but on the other hand, that was one issue where he stood his ground. He said, then remove him from the chairmanship, maybe then grander, and all of those things. And he and the clerk were on the radio saying, because I'm not getting this, because you not see all those things. But after that, we have also seen, at times, he's also stand. He stand.
But after that, again, a lot of people see the punishment we go through, and all of a sudden, he rise to this position.
Yeah, they say. So, again, we have seen in other occasions, Usai, his stand may not be the national stand, but his stand sways well with the party. So, you understand what I mean? At that time, people with the party and the parliament was not happy with him. He stood his ground. He was punished. But on other occasions, we have seen that his position is that of the party position. Very strong, very convinced, resolute that this is the way it should be. So, and he has been rewarded. But what we are saying at the end of the day...
So with the reward, Doc, at this time, how they also for keep the balance? Because even though a party then represents a parliament, like you say, one person you tell me you've been believed for follow, waiting in the national interest than your party interest. Yeah. How then to for keep the balance at this critical moment?
You see, not two parties in a parliament. They are not going to operate like an island. There's APC there, and you have the minority leader, where even we see his, we saw him when the party was going through their own situation, and then he's here in the parliament. He too, and most of the time, is going to follow the dictates of his party. So the relationship is great. They have to manage the relationship because there's no way you will just take unilateral decision. The SA people will take unilateral without reference to the APC. Certain times why we did not fight, and even as I sit here, my conscience is clear. Because sometimes when APC wanted to bring things, I will go to them and say, them means the speaker and the leadership. I say, this, if you don't rethink before going to that well, this will happen. Then we will discuss. We will discuss it in the light of the thinking of my membership. And then we come to a middle ground. Sometimes in the middle of the well, me and Honorable Bundu, we look at each other and we go out. We sit in the members' lounge. I said, this way you are going is not going to be nice. Let's adjourn. We will adjourn Parliament. Let's go down to committee room. Let us abuse each other. Let us send stones and chairs at each other until we come to a middle ground before we get there. But I was misunderstood. I was misunderstood.
This parliamentary they see, that's this kind of rapport they explain, so we be there between you they see in this parliament?
Well, this second parliament, with the leadership and the way this parliament was construed, you know, the APC decided they will not come. It has to take several months for them to come, and we have the tripartite and all of those things. It behoves the two parties, for the sake of the country, to ensure that everything they do, first of all, they ask themselves, how is this going to build the unity and the cohesiveness of the people of this country? I think at every stage now, there are certain questions they must stop to ask themselves. How will our behavior impact on Sierra Leone? Impact on what we are going to do? Because whether we like it or not, there are a lot of issues. There are accusations and counter-accusations. Sabotage here and derailing, not acknowledging the strikes and all of these things. We have seen all of this leading to loss of property, loss of life, and all of those things. To the extent that you may not feel comfortable as we were before, you know. In the north, you may not be comfortable in the east or the south, because there is this polarity, whether we like it or not, whether we say we are, let's be honest or no, it's there. It's there. Can you imagine in 2015, when I was contested for the leadership of the vice president of the Pan-African Parliament, the support I got? I was the only opposition. The rest were government. And we were admired in the Pan-African Parliament. I didn't know, for the first I didn't know that Honorable Aissata Kabia speaks Spanish. Because in the Pan-African Parliament, we speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, English, Arabic, and Swahili. Those are the 6 major languages. In my campaign, for the first time, she said, Honorable, I comprehend Spanish. And I was speaking, I was campaigning, and she was interpreting. And we were encouraged. And the president said, it is not Bernadette that is contesting. It is Sierra Leone that is contesting. We must win that election because it's Sierra Leone. I don't know whether if similar situations happen.
When you look at the way how the current president, how the parliament they now, the same situation where you they explain will be happen to you during the 10-day way they go contest international elections. The president by then, Dr. Nesby Kroma, said not to Bernadette the contest as opposition. Now Salon then rally be you give all the support. When you look at the relationship now with now President Bio and that of the opposition, you strongly believe say similar scenario go happen at Salon again?
I hope so. I hope so. Because, you see, when we go out into the international world, they ask whether you're not Timini or Mende. It is Sierra Leone. It is Sierra Leone and only Sierra Leone. Of course, a little bit of question will be whether it's opposition or ruling government. But at the end of the day, whatever behavior, whatever you do out there, it reflects on the country as Sierra Leone and not as APC or SAPP. So that is what I expect, that when we go out there internationally, it is our Sierra Leones that we should project and not maybe our partisans.
All right, Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai continue further with Sweden at the program. Now this edition of the Breakfast Show, we get some here, they sharing experience and they talk about leadership in Parliament, the young term, and the new leadership where we see now under the Speaker, Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas. Well, the Breakfast Show, they continue for sending message to the number 074-200-545 and drop your comments at the comment section. Now the different platform they must have they watch with this morning. We they go now on Parliament, also we see yesterday when I've been Tuesday, May 7th, we see members of Parliament being go congratulate the new Speaker and in deputy. Also the member of Parliament and be asked them for ensuring they use the office for represent the interest of the people of Sierra Leone and not the political party interest. Well, let we watch as we report Al Hassan Kuruma Bindede yesterday and Ego now reports.
Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, born on 14th May 1976 in the southern region of Salone. Now a lawyer and a holder of postgraduate diploma in education, Bachelor of Arts at the University of Salone, LLB Honors, and BL at the Salone Law School. Honorable Singapore Solomon contests as Member of Parliament's role in constituency 089 Bont District, southern region of Salone. 2012, Osai a win the seat. He served for 5 years, but because the people believe in leadership and performance, make them vote for him again inside March 2018 elections. Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, the chairman for Public Accounts Committee in Parliament and also a member of the Appointments Committee and other committee then we don't serve. Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, a man we also the advocate on issues them where they affect people, issues like healthcare, employment opportunities, education, agriculture and infrastructural development. Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas come up from Deputy Speaker where he been get under the leadership of Honorable Chegno Abbas Bundu. Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas of the ruling SLPP, now the new Speaker of Parliament, we been secure 128 votes inside the fourth round of the simple majority ballot. This make him the youngest speaker with the House of Parliament don't ever produce. As all this to be, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, they represent the SLPP in a western area urban. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte come up from Cambia district, a only bachelor degree on politics and history, and diploma in cultural studies from Frabe College, University of Salone. Honorable Tawa served as Member of Parliament inside the 5th Parliament of the Second Republic between 2018 to 2023. He currently serves in second term and are also the Deputy Regional Chairman for Sierra Leone's People's Party Western Region. Inside the 6th Parliament, Honorable Tawa now the Deputy Chief Whip 2, a position where he holds for maintaining party discipline and coordinates the members of Parliament. Honorable Tawa don also serve as head, Human Capital Management Admin and Protocol, na Skybank Limited between 2008 and 2012. It also worked na EcoBank, USA is served as head, Regional Corporate, and later head, Multinational Corporate and Deputy Head of Corporate Bank between 2012 and 2017. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte don serve plenty committees in a Parliament as head, Chairman Committee on Environment and Climate, Deputy Chairman Committee on Works and Public Assets, and plenty other one them. With all them achievements that make members of Parliament vote for Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte for being the new Deputy Speaker of Parliament. May 2nd this year, the 6th Parliament of the Republic of Salone been voted for new Speaker and Deputy after we Honorable Chegno Abbas Bundu resign because of health reasons. This make we now get Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas as Speaker and Honorable Ibrahim Tawa as Deputy Speaker of Parliament. Tuesday, May 7 this year, members of Parliament them been make congratulations message to the new Speaker of Parliament and a Deputy.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have congratulated you earlier before. I have done it and I will do it again. First of all, I want to say thanks to God for the leaders that He has given to us, you and your boss. And my hope is that Honorable Singapore I have known him for the past years. We have been here in this house. We were a member of a committee that was very strong, that we call P26. We've been here, we saw it all, and here, now he has waited patiently, and he has attained to that. And I heard from your statement when you are addressing that you never thought of that. And that is how God works. No one knows tomorrow. And I heard from my other colleagues that they have hope. Yes, hope is yours. Just work diligently. Just be honest. Just believe in God. Just know that one day you'll be there.
I see my brother struggling to choose, to pick and choose among who should speak. That gives you the unique opportunity
that every elected member in this world look forward to. Like other people who have brought you message of goodwill, I think I will deviate a bit. It is an opportunity for us as young people to ask ourselves many questions. Have we delivered as much as what has been given to us by the people of Sierra Leone?
The Speaker, Honorable Senator Thomas, and you, it has given us hope as parliamentarians. The Honorable Senator Thomas was here in 2013 when we amended the Constitution so that one of us would be Speaker. He has gone through the ranks from an ordinary member of Parliament to Deputy Speaker and now Speaker. It shows any one of us will be Speaker one day. That is the more reason we should give you the maximum support you deserve. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Honorable Senator Solomon Thomas is the youngest Speaker of this Republic. And as I have said, he will be the guinea pig for this position. And you are also the youngest Speaker, Deputy Speaker. I could remember when we voted for the Honorable Cherino Juba, sometimes in 2012. He was 43 years old. Today, you occupy that position as Deputy Leader at the age of 42. It shows you are going to serve as the youngest Deputy Speaker. The two of you are representing the young people of this nation. If you succeed, more young people will be given the opportunity to serve at that office. If you fail, you'll not just be failing yourself, you'll be failing the young people of this republic.
The female caucus leadership been choose Honorable Songo for the part of the female caucus leadership as their duty now for advocate for women them na parliament. Honorable Nene Leby, Parliament be appointed as Deputy Chief Whip, a position way vacant after we Honorable Tawa been win as Deputy Speaker. Members of Parliament them inside and congratulation messages them also asked the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker of Parliament for bringing new development na Parliament for the good of Mama Salone. For Liberty Online TV and Hassan Koma the reports.
We continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online Television, or then our Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Continue for share the program, continue for send you message. We will read on our messages them shortly. We still get Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai, we now first member of Parliament. This morning at the program they share with we experience as to the time they then been there as member of Parliament, how they go about for select somebody among them where they be be the Speaker of Parliament. And we look at now waiting for expect from this new set of leadership where Parliament don't get when are the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
So as we look at the expectation, Honorable Lahai, based on all waiting we don't talk this morning, in terms of you experience that Parliament, because like I say, for any Parliament, the experience counts. We can share it from that, even though people only say, let young people and come into leadership, but you just can't come into leadership like that if you know if you not get the experience and not the consults. In terms of sharing experience, what you go advise this particular crop of leadership in Parliament, if they want for get and rights, if they want for left something as a mark, where they go don't left Parliament, what you go tell them for do?
Well, first of all, then for no say, they are working for the people of Sierra Leone. And that there are times in life when you really get for look inside you and say, how does this contribute? Because Parliament for pass law that are conflict sensitive. Anything they do, it has to be conflict sensitive. It has to be sensitive to human rights. It has to be sensitive to transparency and accountability, anything they do. But mostly, it gets to be sensitive to the unity and the cohesion of the country, because this is not the only country we get Sierra Leone. The two parties within the Parliament, then get for know their role. Opposition get for know in role and for able for draw a line between what is national and what is political. Government also get for know their politics. They have programs for run. At the end of the day, they will be judged by how well, the programs, the manifesto, where they don't transform into development plans program, how well they carry out and for let them ask the people then for renew their mandate. But you in opposition also, you are not just there to oppose. In fact, most of the things that if I were in opposition, like how we've been there, we will work very closely with the government. So that when government say this, you say, now we're all been doing. Government say this, now we're all been doing, because you will also use that we are cooperative, we were nationalistic, not to everything will be opposed, because we also, with people, then they benefit from the services and the programs where in fact, you are government in waiting. Because you are government in waiting, you don't want to do things that will alienate you from your people. So they have to delicately know their role. You can oppose constructively. But as I always can say, you, the government party, not for also bully. You not for also just bulldoze your way because you have the where it's all for get things done. Yes, you want to sell your manifesto, you want to sell your programs and all of those things, but in a harmonious way, bringing in together the other party, because we are living in a multi-party plural dispensation governance, but also respect. Opposition want respect. Government self want respect. And respect comes with consultation. You may not always agree 100%, but there are certain things the opposition for say, no, this one we cannot give. There are certain things the government will say, no, this one's is sacrosanct, we cannot move. So there should always be negotiation. It's a matter of give and take. But at the end of the day, it is the people of Sierra Leone that will suffer if Parliament is not well governed. If it is well governed, we all, including people of the country, we also benefit from the pragmatism and the unity that we see in Parliament and the sense of purpose that we also see in Parliament. So then get for respect each other, then get for consult. Don't bring things at the last minute, because if you share with the opposition, they are going to mobilize and all of those things. No, consultation is going to be important. Documents have to be shared early so that people have time to read and internalize and research and all of those things. Consultations, the composition of the committees are also, because we went to the Bo Declaration, yeah? We had the Bo Declaration where we spent 3 days building bridges with the theme of building bridges, yeah? And in building bridges, we identify certain things that should be done or should not be done.
Then did they happen now in Parliament?
Well, some things are happening, but some things may not be happening. That is why we see all of these things.
When you look at after Honorable Dr. Abbas Bodo's resignation, 2 names then be they play from the SLPP for contest for the speakership. Honorable Sidi Tunis, will not be the first ECOWAS speaker, and Honorable Sengepo Thomas. But all of a sudden, the party sent Honorable Sengepo Thomas, and Honorable Sidi Tunis disappear na the race. We make plenty people listen and say the decision for let Honorable Sengepo Thomas be speaker is very strategic because the president feels agreeable for operate for an parliament.
Well, after that decision, you know, say Honorable Sidi Tunis go on 98.1. I think say be this on 98.1 somewhere. He say they have to listen to the party. He has to listen to the party. The party is always right. The party, they see far. How far, what it be mean, I don't know. But he was in the race, and he was no longer in the race, but we saw him that day because I follow the parliamentary procedure from beginning to end. You know, he was very active in the floor, you know, they all vote and all of those things. So, he said they listen to the party. I don't know what else.
I've personally been surprised for no say. Now, Honorable Sengepo Thomas, the party they send for who contest the position.
I will not be surprised. They talk, I will not be surprised because, as I say, that decision is firmly in the hands of the president. Not if you say, oh, what played over there, the 2 names that came up that the president not get hands in. No, he's the leader of the party.
But he consults with the general membership.
I wouldn't know.
The executive.
I don't know, but I think say he go down consult. And as a leader of the party, sometimes you consult who is there to really oppose you, really, you know. For now, you know, he hires and fires, you know. He can, he's powerful. Right. So for now, you know, people can listen to him. Yeah.
If you were to advise the president, if them for go back, you for be advised for let you choose Honorable Sengepo Thomas over the next person, Honorable Tunis?
I know they answer that speculative question. I'm not. The president is not going to advise me, and besides, the event has passed, so we are now going to live with the consequences, good or bad, you know, of that decision. But there's no way the president is going to. I don't know. He is there now. And we pray, let's be just optimistic and positive that, you know, his tenure will be less turbulent, his tenure will be less acrimonious, and there will be a lot of consultation, respect for the opposition, and also consultation, negotiations, and so forth. And let's also hope that, because now there are 2 political parties in the parliament, let's also hope that the opposition will be considerate, will be objective, and they too will also be nationalistic by ensuring that they put the interest of the country first. So the peace and the tranquility in that parliament is going to be dependent upon the 2 parties, really, what they see as their vision and goal for not only the parliament, because the parliament is working for the people. What is in the best interest of the country? Because remember, at the end of the day, now everybody they suffer. You know, go to market, they say, no, APC, you can't pay 2 Leone, SLPP pay 10 Leone. And the services and the provisions that are made, you know, go to pump for go get what I say, no, you know which color. Everybody gets, yeah? So we just, if only we are thinking from that nationalistic point of view, you know, that it's not everything that is party, you know. Yeah, we have speakers, as I say, speakers in other countries are MPs, Go to Uganda, Rebecca Kadaga is MP. Go to Ghana, go to Nigeria, all MPs. And therefore they are parties. They are partisan. The speakers are from different parties. They are from party, they are parliamentarians. But when you see the Ghana parliament, the way, you know, they speak, the way the speaker sometimes waiting self, you know, sometimes you have to take yourself out a little bit, you know, and just say, this is it. Of course, you have to be aware of the consequences, because sometimes if you get 77 KNL, you know, now the constitution, we still now a dagger hanging on the independence of the parliamentarians. We hope that the constitutional review will look at that really.
All right, Honorable Lahai, quickly, Lord, just take a few messages them. We viewers that don't send this one from Bakar Banks. Now Facebook, they say, Honorable Bernadette Lahai, as a moderate SLPPian, between the past and present president, whose leadership skill do you prefer for the unity, cohesiveness, and peace of this country?
This other message from Fode Sulaiman Kamara on the Facebook page. They say, thank you, Honorable, for your explicit analysis. The leadership of parliaments, both the APC and SLPP, need to take into thorough consideration that the people are suffering. We need a peaceful parliament that will debate issues constructively for the common good of the state.
For the Mustafa Toure, they say, don't forget that Cherry Coco was supposed to be the Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, but Paupa presented Tunis instead. I understand there was an agreement since Mrs. Lahai had earlier occupied an international position.
Bakar Banks again say, I don't expect nothing to change in the Parliament. It will be a continuation of the nay or yea has it, regardless of the numerical disparities.
All right, the last one they take from Fode Sulaiman Kamara, they say, if we are talking about competency in terms of speaker, Honorable Sengepo has it all. But however, he has to be mindful and courageous enough to do what is right based on the laws of Sierra Leone, rather than compromising issues that will hinder the progression of our country.
The final one we will take from Fode Sulaiman Kamara is my advice to Parliament and the government of Sierra Leone is for the government to be open to criticism, and the opposition needs to criticize constructively.
All right, from the messages, and they quickly, Honorable Dr. Bernard Lahai will just respond to the wrap up.
This person, you want for put me I not agree. The two leaders, they say which one? No. I say leaders operate within a socio-economic milieu. We're different. President by Kroma in 2017, in 2018 era is different from President Bio in era. In terms of what is the environment, the critical incidences where they happen, the country, the political atmosphere, they are all different. And therefore, then they impact differently on the leadership. The decisions some leaders take also. But what is important is that at the end of the day, we want peace in our country. This question say the speakership of the ECOWAS. As I say, now the presidents, then they decide. If President, in fact, if President Ernest Bai Koroma not being agree for an opposition, because in the ECOWAS, in the Pan-African Parliament, you have more government and members of parliament than opposition, because we they send people that are based on the political configuration of your parliament. So in fact, when me want for Timapa's opposition, a lot of the parliamentarians have been saying, have you got the consent of the president? Because you are opposition, a majority of the members of parliament in the Pan-African Parliament are from the ruling government. So we had to come and tell him, this is the situation, I'm in opposition. But when it comes to, I was the longest serving member there. I had chaired important committees, you know, in the Pan-African Parliament. I was vibrant in the plenary. and all of those. They had seen how I had changed the committee, one of the worst committees then, not worse in the sense, but the leadership, there was nothing happening. So they saw me. So it was not just about opposition, it was also about competence. So when we came, he asked them, "Una sure say Bernadette go win?" He said yes, because she had shown competence and a lot of people have confidence in her. So all we need is a concurrence that yes, she's in opposition, but she has the blessing of the president. So I got that position. With the ECOWAS Parliament, it was Sierra Leone's position. The position rotates. You remember at some point in time, when Elizabeth Lavalley was there, she was in the bureau. And then when he left, what is her name now? Honorable from... over as the vice president for finish Sierra Leone's tenure. So these things rotate. It was now the turn of Sierra Leone this time for the presidency. And the heads of state are very critical in determining also. So, and SLPP was in government. We had seen the acrimony, during the elections and all of those. And I said, people, they put people that they are confident, they get confidence in where they know, where they don't work. Cheno was a good MP in the ECOWAS Parliament, very good, vibrant, and had all he was popular with all the 15 members of state in the ECOWAS. And they were confident that he was going to be the leader, but he wasn't. That was what God said. But later on, he was compensated to be the leader of the delegation. Yeah, and he was still powerful. Anyway, that one is past now. Honorable CD has served his time and everything. And we thank God for the good things that he may have brought under his leadership to Sierra Leone and so forth. I even thank him because he invited me to a very important high-level panel that I represented Sierra Leone, and the memberships in the ECOWAS were very, very happy, about my presentation. So I want to thank him. As I said, competence is important. Mm-hmm. It's not only the length of time you have served, but also the competence. But I agree with somebody that said the two parties really have to think nationalistic. They have to think nationally because, as I said, the person reiterated that opposition should be constructive, but also government should also be magnanimous and don't use their power and their position, to just bulldoze their way. Just so that to show that yes, we are opposition, we can flex our muscle. At the end of the day, it is Sierra Leone that should benefit from the operations of Parliament in terms of cohesiveness, unity, and our public image is also important. All right. When we fight in Parliament and we are in the whole world on the social media, everybody is saying, it reflects on our image. Yeah. We didn't fight in Parliament, but we fought in the committee room one. Yeah, we fought in the committee room. I will go to the leader and we really shout at each other and say, if you bring this thing in here, believe me, this is right. And sometimes they listened. So let them also have a listening ear. All right. Sometimes somebody who is looking at you may be objective. You see, you cannot be looking at yourself and everything is good about. When we stand in the mirror, we look at ourselves, everything is good about us. All right. But sometimes we also want to let an outsider. So we have to be a bit receptive, to the criticisms. But in this country now, when you open your mouth in Sierra Leone, the sooner you say something, even if it is genuine, it is honest, with no political insinuation, people just look at you and say, this one, and APC, una not listen to them, and they want for God, this person, this one, na SLPP, so we should sometimes, just be honest with ourselves. You know?
All right.
But it's difficult. Whenever you open your mouth in Sierra Leone, you are placed somewhere. Even what I'm now saying here, even my sitting here, my speaking here, it's not going to augur with some people.
so that brings me as to the wrap of this edition of the Breakfast Show. Honorable Bernadette Lahai, since you left Parliament, you've not been so active into the affairs of the SLPP. Are you still an active member?
Yes, I am paying my dues.
What about your voice?
Monthly. We have put younger people in there. Maybe we want them to bring in new blood and new voice and maybe new thinking, you know. But as I say, the Mendeman says, no way. Ta goya nake ta go tilembia lima. What that means, elderly people are not God, but they have been in company with God for long. So that means also age and experience are also important. But we are not also saying that the young people should not come into the party. Let's inject young blood, but those young blood should also benefit, you know, from the experience of people. Yeah.
Nobody no go write the history of the Salone People's Party, especially from the parliamentary perspective, holding the party, standing tough, especially as a woman, without mentioning Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai, a name na the SLPP. At any point, people can go see you again actively into the politics of the SLPP. Therefore, expect that, say, Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai go emerge again na the SLPP.
Sera. What will be, will be. But for now, I am associate lecturer in Jala University and also the Eastern Technical University. I am running a foundation, the Mohammed and Bernadette Lahai Foundation for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. I'm also doing my consultancies, and I'm also farming.
Feed Salone?
Well, we are farming to feed into Sierra Leone, but I have my farm, I'm running my farm, yeah, and I also want to pay a little bit of attention to my God. See, yeah, when I was in Parliament, I was busy, but now I'm in Kenya with a little bit of time. I've joined 1 or 2 church organizations. I'm in the CWA, Catholic Women's Association, and I'm also in the Ladies Auxiliary.
All right.
Ladies Auxiliary for St. Paul's Cathedral. So all these things are keeping me busy. But we are also doing the little we can for the party as and when it's needed.
All right, many thanks, Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai, for your time and your experience we can share with viewers then this morning. Well, Una also many thanks Una join with this morning and watch the program. And also the end the program this morning. One for say many thanks. Mina Karije Bangoga they say have a nice day.
Everybody say goodbye.
It's